Cruising is one of the best ways to travel for many reasons, including its convenience, the ability to visit multiple destinations in a single trip, and the comfort of having everything you need right on board. While cruising is the perfect vacation choice for many people, it's definitely not the right fit for everyone. Before you commit to a cruise, it's worth taking a realistic look at the aspects of cruising that might not align with your travel style. So, here are 8 different reasons you might actually hate cruising, including a few ways to avoid or alleviate these common complaints. First, you don't get enough time in each port. For some travelers, not having enough time in each port is the biggest drawback of cruising. Most ships arrive in port early in the morning and depart by late afternoon, leaving you with a very small window to explore. While that's often plenty of time for a highlight style tour or a guided shore excursion, it's not enough time to fully immerse yourself in the destination. This is especially true in major cities like Rome, Paris, London, Tokyo, Venice, and Amsterdam. If you love wandering neighborhoods at your own pace, lingering at museums, or discovering local restaurants, a day long visit can feel rushed and not satisfying. However, some cruise lines specialize in destination focused sailings with longer port stays. Additionally, some itineraries, such as country intensive sailings, focus on a single region and offer longer days in port. Spending a few nights in cities like Barcelona or Rome before boarding the ship can balance out the shorter port days that will follow on your cruise. Also, early mornings are almost guaranteed. While late risers can certainly enjoy the ship and sleep in on sea days, port days tend to start early. If you're someone who likes to sleep in every day of your vacation, you might not appreciate the early mornings during a cruise. Most cruise ships dock between 6 and 8 a.m., and if you want to maximize your time ashore, you'll find yourself waking up earlier than you might prefer on a vacation. Early excursions, long touring days, and walks through crowded cities can be tiring if you're someone who likes slow, leisurely mornings. I find myself power walking through the city to see as much as I can while cruising, which isn't always relaxing. This is especially noticeable on itineraries with many consecutive port days, such as Mediterranean or Asian cruises. Even though the ship provides comfort and convenience, the cumulative effect of repeated early mornings can wear you down on vacation. That said, not every itinerary will have as many early mornings. Some cruises offer mid morning arrivals or even overnight stays, which provide more flexibility for your independent exploration. I've taken many cruises with overnight stays, and it's actually one of my favorite kind of itineraries to book. Sea days also offer a much needed opportunity to rest and reset. Additionally, river cruises are even better for relaxed mornings because the ships often remain docked for long stretches of time. However, if your ideal vacation includes late breakfasts and unstructured days, the typical cruise schedule may feel too demanding for you. Number 3 is if you don't like being on a tight schedule. Cruising is extremely structured while the ships are docked in port, especially compared to land based vacations. Ships run on very precise schedules, and the all aboard time is non negotiable. Even if you're running a few minutes late, the ship can and often will leave without you. For travelers who enjoy spontaneity or prefer to wander without checking the time, this can be stressful. Regardless, if you want to explore independently, you still need to be mindful of traffic, transportation, and how far you are from the port. Some travelers thrive on the predictability of a cruise schedule, though. They love knowing exactly where they'll be and when the ship will arrive and how long they have ashore. But for others, the constant awareness of time can actually add stress. One way to minimize the stress is to book shore excursions through the cruise line, which guarantees the ship will wait for you if you encounter unexpected delays. However, if you dislike fixed schedules or you prefer vacations with full freedom, then cruising might feel too restrictive for you. Number 4 is if you don't like crowds. Even the best designed cruise ships can't eliminate crowds entirely. Today's biggest ships carry thousands of passengers, and while these ships are impressively designed, there will still be times when you find yourself waiting or walking through busy spaces. For instance, embarkation day can often bring long lines and unwanted crowds. Also, elevators and restaurants can get crowded really quickly during busy times. Even theater shows and the main pool deck can feel overwhelming on a crowded cruise ship, especially if you really want alone time. Some travelers don't mind the nonstop energy of a full cruise ship as it can feel very lively and energetic. However, if you're someone who prefers a more boutique hotel or an intimate travel experience, then the big ship cruising may feel chaotic for you. There are ways to avoid crowds though, such as choosing smaller ships or sailing on premium or luxury cruise lines. You can also pick shoulder season dates or upgrade to a suite that includes a more private dining area and a private lounge. That said, if you prefer vacations that feel calm, quiet, and personal, the environment of a large cruise ship may not be ideal for you. Number 5 is if you love exploring cities at night. Cruising generally allows you to see destinations during the day, but not necessarily after sunset. Most ships sail away in the late afternoon or early evening, which means you'll miss out on the nightlife, evening markets, and sunset views, along with late dinners and cultural events at night. This can be disappointing if you're the type of traveler who loves experiencing a city after sunset. Some itineraries include late night stays or overnights, which can completely change the experience. For example, when I cruised to Australia and Bali last fall, we had an overnight in Bali. This gave us the freedom to explore for more than 12 hours without rushing back to the ship. Cruises that include overnight stays offer a more immersive experience with the option to explore a destination at night. However, it's not extremely common for mainstream cruise lines to have overnight ports. Most cruises don't include nighttime exploration, so if evenings are your favorite part of travel, this can be a major downside. If you want more overnight ports, you might have to pay more for a premium or luxury cruise line. Number 6 is if the ocean freaks you out. This one might seem obvious, but it's a real consideration when booking a cruise. Some people are simply not comfortable on the open sea. The idea of being surrounded by water with no land in sight can feel unsettling for some, even if the ship is very stable and safe. Cruising can involve long stretches at sea, sometimes with nothing but water in every direction for days at a time. This is especially true if you're doing a transatlantic or trans-Pacific voyage, which can often spend 5 to 7 days at sea. While many people find this peaceful and beautiful, others may find it intimidating. If you're uneasy around the ocean, a few types of cruises may work better for you. River cruises and coastal sailings tend to be better options. Also, you could look for itineraries with limited sea days, so you'll be docked more than sailing. Even still, if the ocean's dark depths scare you, or the thought of being far from land makes you anxious, then a traditional ocean cruise might not be relaxing for you. Number 7 is if you're extremely prone to motion sickness. Some people worry that they'll get seasick the moment the ship leaves port. While most modern cruise ships have advanced stabilizers that dramatically reduce motion, rough seas can still happen, especially during storms or in regions known for strong swells. If you're highly prone to motion sickness, cruising might sound like an actual nightmare. However, seasickness is usually manageable with preparation. Many cruisers bring medication, patches, ginger chews, or sea bands to minimize symptoms. Choosing the right cabin location also makes a difference, as midship cabins often have less motion than other areas. You should also avoid booking cabins in the very front or back of the ship to alleviate motion. Some itineraries are also known for having calmer seas, such as the Mediterranean. On the other hand, some destinations are notoriously rocky, like the North Sea and Alaska. Regardless, even if light motion makes you nauseous, cruising may be more stressful than enjoyable for you. And number 8 is if you prefer flexibility with your dining and daily routines. Traditional cruising often involves set dining times, shared dining rooms, and structured entertainment schedules. While cruise lines have become more flexible over the years, some experiences still require more planning than you might expect. If you prefer eating whenever you want, choosing restaurants spontaneously, or having total control of your daily routine, then a cruise might feel too organized. Some cruise lines offer more flexibility at sea than others. For instance, Norwegian Cruise Line offers freestyle cruising, which ditches the traditional cruising structure with no set dining times or set dining rooms. In addition, Virgin Voyages eliminates the main dining rooms entirely in favor of multiple included restaurants. Moreover, luxury cruise lines also tend to be more flexible than mainstream cruise lines. However, if you're someone who wants unstructured vacation days, cruising may still feel like you're operating on a rigid schedule. So, is cruising right for you? Cruising can be an incredible way to travel as it's comfortable, exciting, and a great value for your money. However, it's not a perfect fit for everybody, and that's okay. You will want to first understand your travel style, as this is the best way to determine if a cruise will feel fun and relaxing for you. Nobody wants to spend their hard-earned time and money on a stressful trip. If you decide cruising isn't for you, that's perfectly valid. Luckily, the cruise industry is incredibly diverse, with cruise ships and itineraries designed for almost every type of traveler. If you choose to give it a try, selecting the right cruise line, ship, and itinerary can make all the difference in ensuring a smooth and enjoyable vacation. Alright everybody, that is all we have for today. Thanks for tuning into Cruise Blog, and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. Until next time, this has been Allie, and happy cruising.